Good evening, folks. This is Jacob Folger, artist sculptor, and tonight we are going to make this frog, mushroom, fairy house, and sculpted fairy garden in air dry clay with minimal tools, just a few sculpting tools and paint brushes, and we'll be using also Marblex Pigments to do this pretty colorful finish. And yeah, so it's a fun tutorial and a fun sculpt. And please come along and make this piece with me. If you could, please give the video a like and hit the bell icon and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications when I upload new videos. Okay, let's get started. Good morning, folks. This is Jacob Folger, artist sculptor, and before we start, we're going to need a few tools, sculpting tools and that sort of thing, a couple of small paint brushes, a cup of water. We'll also be using air dry clay, which is this clay is called Marblex. I like it a lot because it dries very, very hard and strong, and but it's very easy to work with. I like it a lot, and so we'll be using that. It's an air dry clay, self hardening air dry clay. We'll also be using GHC 100 by Golden and Marblex Pigments, as well as black paint for the finish today. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is roll a ball of clay, and then we're going to form it for the base. Next, we're going to make a shape of clay by rolling it between the palms of our hands like this. And this will be the stalk of the mushroom. And then we'll form it to the shape we want. Next, we're going to start with a ball of clay, and we're going to form it to make the mushroom cap. So we're going to start assembling these to make the beginning of our mushroom. Wetting and storing the clay, as shown, is very important to give a good solid bond between the pieces. Having nice artistic form, flowing lines, movement in the piece. See how it kind of curves, and you can do that very easily. Just make it nice and give it a nice shape like that, like a real mushroom. Now I'm going to start carving it to make it a little fairy house. Keep your clay moist by using a misting bottle like this, or a wet paintbrush. If you need to leave your work alone for more than a few minutes, cover it with a plastic bag. Now we're going to start making the frog itself. Now we'll start adding some embellishments. I'm going to make a leaf. Well, starting with a little ball of clay. I'm going to start kind of pinching it and shaping it. No, I want to say that when you see something like this, I mean, you're probably thinking, my God, I couldn't ever make something like that. Well, to be honest with you, I mean, I'm showing you this. This isn't really hard. It's not hard to do, and I really think this is something that a beginner could do. It may not be formed the same way as I was forming, because I have a lot of experience with sculpting, but it may take you a bit longer to do, but you can take breaks and you can cover your work with plastic, and just take your time, and don't get all wrapped up in the detail and say, oh, I could never do that. Because as you can see, I'm simply taking simple shapes and assembling them to form this piece. This is not hard to do. If you take your time, you can most definitely do it. So, I mean, what I would do if I were you is just take your time and be patient with yourself, because you can do this. It may take your hands and your fingers a little bit of time to get used to maneuvering the clay and getting it to do the things that you want it to do, your hands to do. But it's worth it to sit down and give yourself an opportunity to make something nice, and don't get wrapped up in I can't do this, I can't do something like this. Believe me, this is I'm showing you these simple shapes that I'm making are actually not difficult to make. Really. So yeah, I hope you give it a shot and just not be afraid of it. Because I know a lot of people trying to get wrapped up in that. It's not hard to do this. Oh, yeah. give yourself a chance and just be patient with your hands and your fingers, and practice. And I think you'll do. I think you'll do just fine. Well, you can see that wasn't hard to make. Definitely want to score always, because the pieces will hold together so much better and last a very long time. And this clay I use, I recommend it because it's really a wonderful clay. It's very easy to work with, and so I know some people out there want to make their own clay, and I mean, you could have a ship free to your door for $42 for 25 pounds. I buy it 25 pounds at a time. Yeah. Is that hard? It's not hard to do. So we're just going to keep going, and we're going to make a really nice detailed piece. And I do have to do it at high speed, or the videos will be really long, and nobody will really take the time to watch them. And I hope you'll be understanding of that. But you can slow the video down, and you can pause frequently, and just take your time and make a beautiful piece. And do a really good job of assembling it, wet and score, and just just go for it. Okay, I'm going to make a flower, and it's good if the clay is nice and moist, and you can get it a little bit wet, and then we'll start. I've got this isolated leg here, and I'm a little bit worried about it. So I'm going to sculpt in a leaf to kind of attach it so that it'll be more secure and not likely to break off. Okay, I've been kind of busy. Let me show you what I did. I put a little fairy mushroom house in the back also. Mushrooms, leaves, I still have to detail that leaf. Yeah. So anyways, we're going to do smoothing and filling gaps. So if you have like little gaps, like, back in there, you can take little bits of clay and, just put them back in there and, fill them up, fill up those spaces. And I'm not doing a great job of it, but yeah, you want to fill up those spaces and make the piece stronger. So that's important. And spend some time smoothing. Let me just show you that so you can see what I do with that. So yeah, I mean, you got a little piece of clay, you just push it back in there, and then take the brush and take this brush a little bit cleaner, helpful, and just smooth it all in, blend it in, and smooth. And you also can take like a ball tool, and texture like the stones of the steps. Just go, take your tool and do swirls or whatever. You can take your tool and put little texture in the mushrooms if you want. I mean, it's nice to do stuff like that because when we do the finish, you'll see, I mean, texture really is a very beautiful thing, and I do recommend it. But definitely filling gaps and smoothing. I recommend, using just a slightly damp brush to smooth rather than getting it soaking wet. But if you have like really big rough spots, you can take a bigger, coarser brush, and just go over it and work it really good with that brush, and that will take a lot of that stuff out, that those really rough spots, which you probably have if you're new to this. But you spend all this time making this thing. You definitely want to take the time to smooth and blend and fill spots, voids and holes. Get a cup of tea, get with a friend on the phone or on Skype or in person, and just hang out and spend time on it. Take your time, do a really, really good job. And then, with the Marblex, I don't know about other brands of clay, but with the Marblex, you can put it in the oven for like a half an hour and dry the surface of the clay enough to do a finish on it. So I'll be doing that, and then so when I'm all done with filling all the gaps and putting in the details and adding texture and smoothing, I will do that. I'll put it in the oven for like a half an hour. Don't do that for hours on end, half hour at the most, on a warm setting. And then we'll come back and start the finish. I want to show you this. I added these little fairy doors in the mushrooms, and I want to show you how I did that. So I made another mushroom here, and mushroom fairy house here, a little miniature one. So what you want to do is when you're putting the door in, you want to get it, cut in deep, fairly deep. And then I'll show you how to make a door. Okay, we're back, and we're going to do start to finish now. And I'm just trying something new. I often trying to improve my finishes and make things better, make the sculptures look nicer. This product I've been using for many years for all kinds of things. It's GAC 100 by Golden, and I did a coat of this on the sculpture just as an experiment to see if it would improve things. So, because this is an acrylic primer and extender, so I'm just want to see how it worked doing as a primer. So next we're going to paint the sculpture black, which is the base coat for the finish I'm going to do today. I'm using Utrecht Studio Series acrylic in deep black, but you can use really any kind of acrylic paint would be fine. Yeah, so we'll just, it's a good idea to have your brush slightly damp when you start, and you just want to paint it on, and you need to work it into all the detail of the sculpture and cover it really good, and you want to do at least 2 coats, and then once you've done that, and once we've done that, we'll come back. Okay, we're back, and we're going to start the finish. Again, the colors. We're working with Johnson's Paste Wax. It's the best wax I've ever used. I love it. I've used it for many, many years. It's really wonderful stuff. And also Pearl-X Pigments in a variety of colors. Also outstanding product. And yeah, so I'm going to get started. I get a little bit of wax on my brush. I dab it off a little bit, and I'll pick up some purple or some actually Reflex violet. And when I put it on, I dab it off on the table a little bit, and then I just brush it on. And you know, I'm not really trying to cover all the black. I go for kind of an antique look, and so yeah, I mean, it's a pretty color, and the colors are really pretty, and yeah, so I kind of go for an antique look, and so I'm just gonna do it, and you can watch. After I get all the finishing, the colors on, I do another coat of wax over top. And I wait about 10 minutes, and then the final part of this finish is to take a soft cloth and gently rub the sculpture. Keeping in mind that paste wax is, the purpose of it is to give a really sweet sheen to what you apply it to, and when you gently rub it like this, it makes those colors just really come out, and it's really quite beautiful. So yeah, it's really quite nice. I'm going to do some close-ups of the sculpture so you can see all the details. Well, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video and that it was useful to you. Um, Please, if you could, give it a like, share it with your friends and family, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought of the video and what you think of the sculpture. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment with a question and I'll reply. And please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications when I upload again. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.